Hello guys, I'm back. It's been a while since I was able to do a video, and I've been on a 3-week vacation to the Philippines. I just returned yesterday, and I want to show you guys these tree fern panels. Others call it slabs, others blocks. I purchased, let's see, let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I used 3 yesterday, so I purchased 15 pieces for only 250 Philippine pesos, and if converted into dollars, that's less than $5, maybe around $4.80. That cheap. If you go to Josh's Frog, eBay, Amazon, tree fern panels would cost around $27, and I think that's for the background panels. I think it's more designed to be used as backgrounds for vivariums or other projects. And then there's the more durable ones, according to Amazon or the label, and that's like $37. And those are like comes in two blocks or 2 slabs. Very expensive compared to this. I just want to show you guys how I brought it here with me. I put it in my luggage, completely legal. I told customs about it. They did the x-rays and all that stuff. They didn't care about what it is. They care more about animal products like beef, pork, chicken. That's what they're more concerned of. So no issues. Didn't break the law here or anything. But yeah, I definitely just wrap them in cling wrap because they are messy, as you can see here. I just unwrapped this one. So I purchased this tree fern panels more for mounting orchids and other epiphytes. They're really nice, as you can see here. You can see through some of them. So I've seen my dad use this a lot of times before on his own orchids when I was in the Philippines. I didn't really care much about it until I got here in the United States, and I was thinking about this specific mount because with what he had before, orchids roots just grew through them. Like literally, he would mount them on this one up front, and you'll see roots go through the panels itself. So they're very airy. It allows air movement. They hold moisture really well, and they allow the roots to go through something and cling onto something, and I think also get some nutrients through the tree fern panels and other debris that's trapped in there. The other reason why I purchased a lot is I plan to set up a dart frog vivarium in the future, and I've already set my mind to using this tree fern panels as my background. And the reason for that is I know one of the most popular ones are the expanding foam, and then you put silicone, and then you top it off with dried cocoa coir. And I did that on my first dart frog tank, actually my first and only dart frog tank. That's more of when I set it up when I was in Fort Wayne. I kept it for like nearly more than a year. And then I planned to move here, so I sold that tank. But it went well. The tank was really really good in terms of holding up the background. But it was a lot of work. I mean, there are people who really prefer using the expanding expanding foam because they can design it. But for me, the process of applying silicone and hurrying up to put the cocoa coir, because the silicone will dry quick enough, so you need to do the cocoa coir, and the smell, the odor that comes from the silicone and all the mess, I realize it's just a lot of work. And then I've seen someone use actually the cork, which is also nice but very expensive. I didn't find any cork back in the Philippines for backgrounds, but they're just too expensive for me here also. And then I've seen people use tree fern panels, and I say I can definitely purchase those. Now I know one of the debates in the dart frog world would be how long will this hold up with all that moisture, with all that plants growing through it. Will it break down? And in my research in dart frog forums, so far I haven't really seen anyone. I don't know, maybe some people don't keep their tanks that long, or I haven't really read, or someone or other hobbyists haven't really made any updates regarding their builds. But basically, that's the main one concern, that it will break down and all that stuff. Now, in my experience with my dad's use of these tree front panels, I remember before when he left for the United States, so he sold these orchids, his bromeliads, and I've seen this tree front panel actually drop on the it was on the ground. And to give you an idea of our weather there, so from like summer starts like March to like the last 2 weeks of May, and the monsoon season or the rainy season starts like June, like the last few weeks also of May. That's when the rain will also start, but it's still really hot. And yeah, from the last week of May to around October, sometimes even November, there would be like lots of typhoons, raining every day. The peak would be like June to August, and we're talking about 2 typhoons coming into our to our country like in a week, sometimes 2 at the same time. And it's part of our lives. You can get, there's rain like 14 days, 15 days straight. There will be a slight drizzle, continuous slight drizzle, and then once or twice a day there will be like a major thunderstorm. That's how it is. And these tree front panels actually were able to hold up with all that rain, with all that moisture. It was on the ground. It was subjected to, I apologize, my son just woke up. So, but basically subjected to all that moisture, all that rain. It's on the ground, so there's mud in it, and it held up. And it's been there like for 2 years. I didn't really care about it until I picked it up. And then of course there's the harsh summer months for us, wherein like from March to May it would be really hot, and then we don't have winters, so cold weather. I won't even call it cold. I don't know if it even reaches 70 Fahrenheit, maybe 75, but it's like from November to like last week of February. But yeah, it held up. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm confident that when I use this as my background for my vivarium, this will work. So yeah, so I only purchased this for $5, and I got 15 pieces, so really cheap. There are nice looking ones, and what I mean by that is there are ones that are more sturdy, more solid. I did get some that have this like areas where it's a bit thinner, it's not as compact. Now, when I was reading reviews regarding those tree fern panels from Amazon, I think it's from New Zealand actually. When I read those, it's a mixed bag. Some customers, they bought ones that are pretty solid, more compact, so worth the $27 to $37 of paying for it. However, there are others that say that the quality isn't as good as what they expect, or those are repeat buyers, so it's not as consistent. And I think it's more of how these tree fern panels are made. I don't think there's like a standard way to make sure that they're all the same. And if you're gonna spend $27 or $37 for just 2 pieces, I think it's a 12 by 6 by 1 inch. I think it's the same size as these ones. You expect to get a better quality tree fern panels, but I'd rather pay only $5 for 15 pieces. So okay, I'll show you some orchids and plants that I've actually already mounted on these ones. I did that when I arrived from the Philippines. So I have the plants here that I mounted yesterday. And for an example, these are three plants, locally called sangumay. We call it Dendrobium anosmum. That's the scientific name. So what I did, I had some long fiber sphagnum moss that I already have prepared months ago for another project. So you can see there's also some perlite. You don't need the perlite. These I have three plants in here, three small plants. So there's one here, one going this way, and then the third one is going horizontal. I place it on top of both, and then just use an orchid clip to hold it in place, as you can see here. And people, a lot of hobbyists and these orchids use a fishing line. I do have one, but at the time I don't have time, and I'm not really that efficient and good with using fishing line. So my goal here is just to do this real quick, not even 10 minutes in setting this up, and then hopefully the plants adapt, let their roots grow in through the long fiber sphagnum moss, and eventually through the tree fern panel. That's when my dad was growing his orchids, that's what I've seen. And by then hopefully I can remove the clip and it will go through the panel itself. So that's one example. Let me get another one. So for another example, so that one is in a half slab of tree fern. I actually cut it in half, as you can see here. But for a bigger project, definitely using the whole block is fine. For this one, this is a fern. Same thing, getting lazy. I didn't use a fishing line, just had long fiber sphagnum moss, provide moisture, and then clipped it on both ends to hold it in place. This is an oncidium. We call it dancing lady. This one I'm using a plastic garden fencing. I just clipped it in place. I just cut it off, and then you put some long fiber sphagnum moss, put that plastic part there, and then use the clips, and it's holding it really well. Again, just being lazy in using fishing line. But again, the goal here is hopefully they adapt and then get their roots settled in, go through the the tree fern panels, and then I can remove those clips. But yeah, it's not as aesthetically pleasing to look at, but it's a very fast way to do it. Again, not even 5 or 10 minutes for me to finish this whole block. And let's see here. Okay, here's another orchid. I don't know what it is. Same thing. Used the garden fencing, plastic garden fencing. Cut it in the size, and then use it to hold the orchid with some long fiber sphagnum moss, and use those orchid clips. And of course, all of those I have holes drilled in, very easy to drill, and just used wire as a hook, and I'll mount them somewhere here. Another Dendrobium anosmum here. So as you can see here, same thing I did with the others, and some orchids that I have no idea what they are, but I'll ask the forums. So yeah, basically that's it. So another look here. Tree fern panels, really cheap in the Philippines. So usually when we have family members visiting, they'd ask us what we want as a present, and usually we'd ask for chili sauce, Chinese chili sauce, some ground up chilies with garlic, and that's really good. However, this time I'd be asking for them to bring maybe half a dozen of these tree fern panels, because I see the potential, and I've seen it definitely with how my dad used it, and for other projects in my own hobby. So yeah, that's it, guys. I've cleaned up some of the mess here, but yeah, thank you. Please hit like and subscribe. Have a good one.